Hello everyone and welcome to another pick a card reading. For today I have a very creative uh, pick a card reading, if it's even a card, because I'm not going to invite you right now to pick cards, but rather I'll invite you to have a cup of coffee with me. And the coffee is going to be very important because you'll see in a moment. So we have, instead of cards, we have 4 sheets of paper. They're still, all of them are blank. And you're invited to choose one of these. But can I just recommend that you don't choose necessarily which one is your favorite number from 1 to 4 or what it means numerologically. Now, if you received certain kind of synchronicities with numbers, then I'm not saying anything, then it's really up to you. But if you can just try to choose really intuitively, just close your eyes and whatever comes in your mind, because they're blank, as you can, all of them are blank. So there's nothing to give you any hint right now, no energy even here. And when you'll choose one, then you'll also have to help me, because you'll see after you choose. And the theme of this reading is this projection of yours. What your unconscious is gonna project, and it can be, past, present, future, it can be absolutely really whatever. So I think I've given you enough time and explanation to make your choice. Okay, I'm gonna stay still and silent for a few seconds. And okay, so I'm gonna begin with the first one. I'm gonna put the rest away. So it's a blank paper. And the coffee. And a piece of string. So I'm gonna put the string into the coffee. Oh, I knew I should have gotten a spoon or something. I wasn't prepared for my own reading, was I? So I'm just trying to get the integrity of the string into the coffee without making a huge mess, if that's even possible. But I'm not sure it's possible. I'm so sorry to be really clumsy here, but maybe this is part of the reading. Maybe this is where you're unconscious, because right now you should be just distracted by my clumsiness so your unconscious can project whatever it wants. So as you can see, I just put this into the coffee, let it soak there. And now I'm gonna put the string just randomly, but I fear that the string is a bit too big, onto here. If I can, that is. Okay. So it's between this sheet of paper, the two sides. And oh, I was so afraid this was gonna happen, where my assistant would get in the way. So I pulled the string out. Kalia, really, stop it. Sorry, I'm so sorry. And let's see what your unconscious... Kalia! Here. This is the image that we got. And naturally, I'm going to allow you a few seconds to interpret it yourself the way you want. And then I'm gonna start interpreting it. This side is not all that very visible, but I do hope it's enough. So I'm going to take a few seconds right now along with you to make sense of this. So of course you can pause it. You can just pause it, and I'm gonna begin my part now. So I see here first of all seed of intention. So this is where you were working on something very, very important for you, and that is rather multidimensional because it's both part of your spirituality and your spiritual journey. It's both part of something important in this incarnation for you. It's both part of something you try to embody in this lifetime. You try to find shapes and forms and ways in which, to express it, embody it. Maybe some people tried writing, maybe some people tried a specific career path, maybe some people tried a certain spirit, and some people here are Druidism, the Celtic tradition, the Nordic tradition, shamanism, but rather I would go towards deeper nature-oriented connection. So some of you guys are like that, but there is a cross here. So that means in a past incarnation, you had a very, very, very heavy spiritual burden, and you sacrificed yourself for the greater good. And in this incarnation, that still reverberates in your life. Tendency of self-sacrificialness. I didn't put that very well in words, did I? Maybe you have strong and rather chaotic Pisces placement in your chart. But I also see that the shadow was very, very active in your life. And I also see that by now you might have alchemized the cross. I also see a life story where maybe it's similar to Jack and the Beanstalk, if I'm recalling the name correctly, in the sense that you made an unusual choice in life. You might have surrendered materiality or success or something which to other people would have seemed like an insane gesture, but that was the most powerful, wonderful, magical thing that you could have done because it started you on a journey. Many times it was uncertain, and many times the giant was obstacles that you would normally not could have overcome, and you still overcame it, and you're here, and the fact that you're alive, you're well, and you're still heavily on this journey is a miracle in itself. So this is what I firstly see. Now, for male listeners, I'm so sorry to make this, to even have to say this, but maybe, check your testicles, but in a medical sense. Make sure that there are no lumps there or anything that should not be there. So, take extra care of your reproductive health organ, if that makes sense. Now, for female listeners, this can be valid the mirrored way. So, maybe not check for lumps, but take extra care. And if you need a detox, detox. Okay, so going back to the reading, what this says to me, ultimately, 3 major life cycles which are deeply intertwined, and also, maybe, how should I say, 3 Jupiters, big Jupiter, Jupiterian activities if you are into astrology in your life. Maybe Jupiter will return, or any kind of big Jupiter aspect that really, really shaped you, and you just had your 3rd, or a big Jupiter activity in your life. And it's also a bit of a mystery where this is leading you. But I see the number 3. 3 cycles, 3 something is very, very important to you. Also a celebration. Maybe March next year is gonna be better for you, while March this year or April this year or the spring this year was also massive for you, but that was like bittersweet. But next year is gonna be a moment of inspiration, a true spring in your life. Okay, now let's get some cards. First these. Capricorn. Just Capricorn. So coming into mastery, coming into your power, also into your innocence. A powerful rebirth moment that took away everything that was, but that is also good because it includes your limitations as well. So Capricorn, your life path. Abandoning your Lilith. Sexual urges or purifying your sexuality, or releasing your child if you're a parent, just trusting them, or I don't know, or coming to terms with your past if you had unhealthy relationships with your parents, not sexual and not that unhealthy, but unhealthy patterns, strong attachment, addiction, violence, abandonment. Things are changing in your life because values are changing, and this is a whole new world. This is a new world, so life is different already for you. Oh, okay. Actually, it's not okay, because the next pile is gonna need it. Oh yes, and the tarot, and a couple of tarot. Queen of Wands reversed. A bit of frustration. Something that was deeply frustrating for some time now. Well, it's here. Time is here. And now the frustration is opposite. You're not ready. So you're in this silly little paradox of yours where you cannot believe that you're not ready when you thought you were ready. So you don't, but it's time for something, either a journey, relocation, long distance travel, you embarking, love is coming, because the High Priest, something that is going to be permanent part of your life and offer you stability is coming, ready or not, by Queen of Wands, as in, it is what it is. Ready or not, it doesn't matter now the timing, but it's very close. So what does this mean? The Jack and the Beanstalk story. Well, we don't know which episode you're at. Because, the giant might have been defeated, but that means nothing. There's also Goose, Golden Egg and stuff, so, but I don't think what's coming is difficulty. I think what's coming is you and that's challenging, stepping into your power, but that's not easy. But it could be easy, but it's not easy, and that's the beauty of you. It's so easy, really, because, okay, I'm powerful, and I'll do something with it, but that is the hardest thing for a humble soul, but that hardship is beautiful. So this, and if you're into Druidism, maybe that beanstalk is a little piece, a tiny piece of land of your own, something where you have nature 24/7 and you're a different man or woman. So yeah, and maybe an embryo. maybe some of you are gonna have kids, and you know when I said check your organs, well, maybe it's pregnancy that you're gonna discover, or so it's also time of fertility for some, whatever that means for you personally. So yeah, and also what I want to mention, maybe for some of you guys in a more spiritual way, drumming or anything tribal music, sound waves are going to be part of your life. The god Maki Maki or planetoid in astrology Maki Maki means anything for you. So thank you everyone, Pile 2, for listening to my interpretation, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, bye for now. Hello everyone who has chosen the second paper. So just like at the first one, I'm gonna invite you for a cup of coffee. And I'm gonna dip this thread into the coffee. And I'm probably gonna struggle, but I hope not as much as I did at the first pile. And then we'll put the thread after it drinks a bit of coffee onto the paper, and it will tell a story. But right now, yes, of course, you need to be distracted by my clumsiness here, so your unconscious can project whatever it wants. So I think that's alright now. Okay. That part was not really expected. Okay, so I'm gonna press it down for a couple of seconds. So yes, concentrate everyone, please. Ooh, a letter. If the letter K means any K, J, K, Y means anything to anyone, the number 7 already. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Wow. The first one was so different. Wow. Okay, I'm well impressed. So, of course, you can pause it and interpret it for yourself, because everyone's game here. But I'm gonna start my interpretation. So, first of all, keywords. I must mention the keywords first. Butterfly, freedom, rebirth, metamorphosis, frailty. Some of you guys have embarked on a totally new mindset. It is almost like your mind, your everyday thoughts and thinking are reformatted. A new soft is operating. And yes, you worked very hard on that, but there was also a lot of miraculous elements to it. So you guys are truly, truly in balance, because your mind, even if it's a lot of chaos in it, don't get me wrong, it's not optimal, but looking at all the good that it does, wow, like truly wow. And this reflects in your lives. And also Kundalini awakening, if that makes sense, for mirror souls. You're no longer as alone as you thought you were. This all a quantum leap, a strong, strong metamorphosis. This is a very, very powerful seahorse, if that means anything to anyone. KR, the letters K and R, if these might be names. Leo, some of you guys might be Leos, or Leo ascendant. But yeah, this is where, what came into my silly Gemini mind. And if you don't know what I'm gonna speak about, you can just Wikipedia it, Google it. Mothra from Godzilla series. That moth which was a benevolent monster, the protector of nature or whatever. A giant moth you could sprinkle like dust, magical dust, onto other monsters and heal them. It was like the cute monster from the series, the good, always the good guy. And the female, gentle and beautiful, like a big butterfly. So Mothra. So you are that kind of person, inspirational, benevolent, gentle, regardless of your gender. And as you grew in age, as you became gentle and as if you turned back time, you're even more pure than you were as a child. So this is where it doesn't matter how old you are or your physical age, you are a child. A divine child. Okay, time for cards. Wow. And balance, as above, so below. Because, for example, the first piles, this, whatever this is called, was not harmonious. One part was so different to the other one, and the nuances and the colors. So they had a very powerful past. They had a big, deep cross. Why am I saying this to you guys? But you guys, achieved a harmony here. You guys are very future oriented. Your true destiny and life comes online now. You guys were just born in 2020 at the Great Conjunction. Why? Because the earthly has no power over you anymore. You're your own boss. The freedom you stepped into and you're controlling, you're making your heart be the ruler of your being. So of course your thoughts are like that. Of course you achieved it. Mirror soul again. Some of you guys are flying towards the love story. You guys are very ethereal. You're like this air, and you're seeking the earthly one. Again, a deep faith, a spiritual journey. So your faith is taking basically over your life, and it's doing miracles for you. This might be happening in the world out there where it's not easy, but that's just a small, it doesn't hinder you anymore. Ace of Wands. Yeah, an initiative. Okay, you're free. Okay, everything is okay on the energetic level. But now it's time to take some action. Time to do something. Time to act. Time to fly. Yeah. Right now, okay, take action, but right now there are blockages in the air. Right now things are stopped. Right now there is a pause moment. So basically this Ace of Wands is where you're building up like a battery, like that pinball thing. You're building up momentum. You're building up strength to discharge, to shoot it, to take action when the time is right. But maybe you have to sit this Mercury retrograde out. Or maybe even this Mars retrograde, but more Mercury retrograde is for you to refine your Mars, to find your masculinity or femininity. Even if you're a woman, your masculine side, to do, to take action, not to stay, not to be passive, to accomplish, to achieve, to fight for yourself, your rights, on a spiritual level even. Doesn't have to be physical or legal or whatever. But, you know, there is burdens, responsibilities that you have to take care of. Healing, bodily healing, contracts, maybe physical stuff, but don't let that hinder this. So yeah, in the autumn, maybe you need to take care of some responsibilities and duties. And look, karma and fate, something needs to complete first. Maybe emotionally, maybe this is just a gesture for you to experience a closure, or maybe that someone's or something is okay and that you can focus. But that's why, you know, don't hurry, don't rush, don't fly. I told you to fly, but don't fly into the storm. So allow fate to guide you, because if you make a leap of faith, you're not prepared in that sense. So allow things to guide you, allow life to guide you, because some things need to be completed. So if you feel urgently motivated, if you feel a strong sense of passion, it doesn't necessarily mean to act now. It means that you're in a state of readiness, and don't let it turn into discomfort and frustration. Manage it, alchemize it, because you will have a lot of things to complete in your life, quite physically. Maybe studies, contracts, work, paperwork, health, doctor's visit, whatever. But you will need to complete things. Remove certain burdens from yourself. So thank you, pile number 2. And thank you for listening. Thank you for helping me do this. And until next time, bye for now. Hi everyone who has chosen the third paper. So a blank paper for now. And I invite you to the cup of coffee as I did for the previous 2 piles. And I want to distract your unconscious so it can project. So I'm going to dip this piece of thread into the coffee to soak a bit. And I'm going to play with it so it soaks. And let's just allow your unconscious to project whatever it. So focus on my clumsiness or what I'm saying, even if maybe you can't exactly see. So I'm just soaking the thread, allowing it to write the story in a moment. So then I'm going to place the thread onto this piece of paper. Okay. So I'm gonna fold it. And again, please concentrate and help me here. Oh, maybe some of you guys are musicians or singers or can sing, or you're into music, vibrations, frequency, drumming, something like that. Because some of you guys, your spirits are very, very connected to music or poetry or art. So help me again. Wow! Yeah, it shows that you're an artist, because this is so very different from the previous 2 thingies. These, without a shadow of a doubt, like, let's be honest with each other, these are 2 cobras facing each other, 2 sides of your being who are at peace because they look at each other with acceptance, with wisdom, with even pride, with dignity. This is not a conflict. This is not the two vipers eating each other up. Uh, Cobras or snake or whatever, which means you're a highly intelligent person. You're both intuitive, emotionally intelligent, but also you're like IQ level intelligent, and you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of research, you have a lot of Scorpio placement in your chart because you're fascinated by psychology, by the occult, either by herb substances and their connection to spirit and their connection to the human body. You are a channeler, you have skills, you have gifts. You also have a past where you might have exceeded your abilities, because don't get me wrong, this also has knowledge and research of previous lifetimes. You were always into spirituality, but you were the kind of person who didn't keep it on a religious level. You researched, so you also embodied the snake energy because you did a lot of research as well. You were not just the, as I said, emotionally spiritual. You were someone who did a lot of research as well, psychology, or it doesn't even matter the age. Every age has empirical research in one way, shape, and form attached to it. So you also have a lot of attraction to darker side of spirituality, perhaps. But I do sense that that is the past. This is where your shadow is cooperative. You're also seer because I see two sets of eyes. You all, again, maybe you're a singer, but anyway, your voice might be important for you. You might be a very, very sensual person as well. You might have had something to do with the Aztec culture, perhaps. And there's that flying Aztec snake, which I cannot pronounce, so I'm not even gonna make, laughter of myself. So, but I do believe that you guys know what I'm speaking about. But this also means a lot of toxicity, but directed towards the self. It means there was a time when you did not have a harmonious relationship with the self. You hurt yourself as well, many times. There were times when the masculine and feminine sides of your being were not in harmony with each other. But this is where, in this incarnation, you're very powerful. Because you see, you made a hole, and this is the future, what I see. You made a hole in the future, so that means a quantum leap. That means that you can see somehow, not necessarily in that way in the future, but you're meant to be in the future. So you're some either psychologist, therapist, healer, into plants, even doctor, and classical or healing, or you have something to do with the symbol of a snake. The snake. But the snake, as I said, medicine, knowledge, toxicity, but as I said, you alchemized it. Let's see what our cards might say. Yeah, a darker past. But there was always good intent. So maybe it was dark, but you always had good intent. You just protected your inner child. That's all that you did. And that was all the darkness. You just protected your inner child as best as you could. You prefer to frighten people, energies, spirits, anything away. Venus and Libra. Libra season might be very important for you guys right now, because maybe either you're collaborating, you're gonna start a collaboration, a partnership, a job, a contract, an alliance, or a new relationship. But in order for this, why do the two snakes have to? The heart has to be as light as a moth. It has to be light as a feather. So the cobra and the snake is also relevant in Egyptian culture. So in order for you to start a partnership or a next chapter in your life, fresh, new, this had to be understood and eliminated. No, not eliminated, better alchemized, transmuted, because your light has to be as, your heart has to be, sorry, as light as feather. You're coming into maturity. This is where you're doing it right. Whatever it is that you try to do, both in previous incarnations and this in one including, a lot of misunderstanding, failures, dramas, hurt to the self, that's gone, that's washed away. So everything is, and you will accomplish that which you couldn't. A lot of accomplishment energy here. Okay. So, the snake and the toxicity and this perhaps. You had a very tough spiritual lesson, maybe in this incarnation, the world reversed, and Six of Swords. To leave behind something that was rightfully, righteously yours, and not really care. To detach from it. Maybe you worked for honors for something and you didn't get it. Maybe this is where you were not blessed materially and other people much less than you were. This is whatever it is to you that caused a big sense of injustice and hurt for many years in your life, and you carried this a lot of years in your heart. It didn't complete by like this. By waiting for karma and divine timing to, give you just, it completed like this. You don't need it anymore. You said to the universe, look, I don't need it anymore. And that act of both rebellion, but dignity, but I don't know, moment of maximum honesty to the self and the divine changed everything. It kind of changed stuff. And this is where the Five of Coins, you are not afraid anymore of anything. You're not afraid of getting dirty, you're not afraid of hardship, you're not afraid of not having a lot, you're not afraid of working hard, of sacrifice, of dragging other people to their safety. This is why you have everything you need inside anymore. Everything's different. That's why this. You're not afraid of this, then neither should you of this. So yes, this is a powerful transformation that is, and maybe this Libra season, autumn equinox, is new Libra new moon, is going to be very important for you guys. And I just wanted to pull another tarot. Okay. You're struggling. Okay, you left old justice and old everything behind. That's absolute, but don't let it recur. Don't struggle with heartache. There are moments when everyone breaks down. There are moments when life is absolutely unfair. Allow sometimes that small 5 minutes of breakdown. That doesn't mean you betrayed your faith. The heartache, heartbreak, the hardship of what you went through, and the injustice of it, in any, regardless. I'm not saying it objectively, I'm saying it subjectively. What matters is that that's how it seemed to you, and that's what matters. So, you always need to fight with it, but keep it at bay. Don't let it become you, because only when it becomes you does things really go bad in your life. When it is not you, then you all, change, triumph, change. Let the heartache die and allow the heart to be free. That's it, really. That's it. Thank you. So, thank you so much, everyone who has chosen the Cobras. But, of course, it can also be like this. I don't know. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, bye for now. Hello, everyone who has chosen the fourth and final paper. As I did with the previous piles, I'm going to invite you for a cup of coffee. I'm going to take this thread and dip it into the coffee, and I hope that my chitter chatter and my clumsiness will distract your attention. Ooh, I struggled at the previous piles but Virgo energy. Already I mastered it because it's so easy now. I'm not really struggling with, you see, it's dipping perfectly. It's perfect, really. The last and final one gets the best of my experience and learning as well. So yes, of course, I'm just distracting your attention so your unconscious can project. And in a few moments, I'm gonna put this thread on the paper, and then it will tell us your story. So please focus here with me, because I do need your concentration as well. Not sure if I can see anything immediately, because for the previous ones I could. Actually, I see maybe a divorce, or maybe you are thinking of changing a partnership, or you don't know if to accept a partnership or not. But anyway, let's let the story tell itself. Whoa, oh my goodness. Oh wow. Like, to me, this immediately looks like those obelisks from Easter Island. I'm so sorry that I have a lapsus and I cannot remember the exact name of them. And it also looks like an old medieval classical depiction of the moon, as medieval alchemists usually put a smiley face on it, or, made it look, feminine in the crescent moon. Time of harvest. Harvest moon might be, autumn moon might be very important for you. And I also see maybe, a relationship, because this looks more male, this looks female to me. But of course, we can also play it like the lungs, breath work, 2 rings, Of course you are, I hope you are, you're interpreting it with me for yourself. So what I say is what I say, but what truly matters is also what you say. I still prefer to look at it like this. Tears, a lot of tears. If you are married and are a couple, you went through so much together. You went through so very much together. But if divorce is in the air, and I'm not in my reading, it's already happening in your life, then this is where you really need to trust the process. Trust the moon, trust your soul, trust your feelings, trust your wisdom. Recall all your childhood and replay all your life before yourself and see how much wisdom you have in you. Your mom, your female ancestor might be also guiding you. This Samhain, Halloween, or Day of the Dead might be also important, relevant to you. The moon. There is that song Goodbye Moon, maybe that means something. Good night moon, sorry, good night moon means something to some of you guys. Or maybe a Spella Luna or something like that. An eclipse, sun and moon. Now, did any one of you guys dream of an eclipse? Was an eclipse a relevant part of your life at one moment? Was anyone affected by the 1999 eclipse? Moon is an exaltation in the sign of 3 degrees of Taurus. Was the year 2000 relevant for some of you guys? Anyway, let's see what the cards say. But this immediately, you're a very intuitive person. A deeply emotional soul. This is where the soul is like a different world, a dimension, some living within yourself. You're I don't know, you're something else. Your life went through a deep transformation or a loss, or maybe after a divorce, maybe, and everything transformed you. And now your life is starting to mirror something else. Someone else. You are someone else. You are your soul. You truly are your soul. You were, everything was stripped away from you. Your ego, everything in an eclipse. You were eclipsed. Everything that was you was eclipsed. So an ego death, a big transformation. Maybe you lost a person even, but you were deeply transformed. You made a leap of faith. This is where you gave up on slavery. You gave up on something. You accepted even your demise, but you would not continue. A job, a relationship, a situation, a state, your illness, your something. You acted, and that transformation was so difficult, so hard. But an eclipse, a big for other piles that didn't choose more cards, but you might be a little bit insane, but please in the most loving way. But you're in a good place. Your insanity is more sane and rational and logical and leads you to a better place than other people's most balanced sanity, if you know what I mean. Follow your values. As free, as radical, as minimalistic as they are. Follow your values. Let me give you an example. If you're someone who dares to feel in 2022 that I would so much love a life without any technology at all, That's radical, but that's so wise of you. Let's see a few justice. Again, justice. It doesn't divorce, it's one justice. But if you're not, as I said, if you're in a relationship, inheritance. Because if you're in a relationship, then both of you, you and your partner, went through tough times, and there it is, the Scorpio, ego death, any death. You know? But there is justice at play. King of Swords. Dare to follow your thoughts, your justice, what balance, equilibrium means to you. Trust your mindset. Trust your... Okay, do I need follow? Follow the direction that's already been given to you. Let your fears go. Let your fears go, really. See, something ended in your life. That's it. It ended. You feel like there was so much more that you could have, would have, should have. Even if this is the loss of a person, that person is a spirit now. So why should have, could have, would have? If this is a marriage, relationship, anything, what about the present? You're killing the present. Ten of Swords, like it or not, it's over. You don't have control over your life, but you're not in a bad position. You have so much to create. Let your fears go. Let your fears go. Because right now you're fearing healing, wellness, well-being. You're fearing it as in, as in you might be saying this. Don't tell me that exactly when it's bad for most people out there, it's going to be good for me. The opposite was absolutely true in your life, so shut up and do it. Take it, accept it. Don't be afraid. This might be an anxiety, this might be part of who you are. Okay, but don't fuel it. Go, if you go with the flow, go with the flow. So I hope this was useful and this helped. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time, for your energy, for all the love, all the support. Thank you truly everyone for basically keeping me alive as well. And I hope again that this was useful. If you enjoyed this creative approach or maybe my old way of doing it, then let me know in the comments and I might repeat this kind of reading one way or another. And I might even do it for someone personally, why not? So thank you again, until next time, bye for now.